What a lovely chocolate orange.
You tap it, unwrap it, 20 segments orange flavoured chocolate.
Tastes nice.
Picked it myself today. Terry's chocolate orange.
Remember when the best part of Christmas morning wasn't just the toys, but the weird and wonderful candies you'd find in your stocking? We're talking about those festive treats that have all but vanished from store shelves. Think about that specific, almost electric thrill of digging past the obligatory orange to find a treasure trove of pure, sugar-fueled joy. Now, these weren't just candies. They were status symbols on the bus after winter break, currency in playground trades, and simply the taste of the holidays. In this video, we're unwrapping 1970s Christmas candies you forgot about. Some are still around, but many live on only in our memories. So, grab some hot cocoa, get comfy, and let's take a trip back to a time of shag carpets, wooden-paneled station wagons, and some of the most memorable Christmas candy ever made. If one company was the undisputed king of the Christmas candy dish, it had to be Washburns. You might not have known the name, but you absolutely knew the candy. This was the quintessential Grandma's House candy, always glistening in a cut-glass bowl on the coffee table. These weren't fancy, individually wrapped treasures. This was a democratic jumble of shapes, sizes, and flavors. The mix was a riot of color and taste. You'd get everything from classic peppermint starlights to tangy fruit flavors like orange, lemon, and lime. But the truly special pieces were the cut rock candy. These were tiny engineered marvels, hard candy cylinders sliced into discs to reveal an intricate star or some other festive pattern. In the 70s, candy economics was simple. Chocolate was a premium, but hard candy was cheap to make and sold everywhere. That's why this mix was a constant. It was affordable, plentiful, and a guaranteed way to make the house feel like Christmas. And for many of us, the sound of these candies clinking together is the sound of the holidays. Few candies were as beautiful or as treacherous as Christmas ribbon candy. Now, this was the stuff that seemed almost too pretty to eat, usually displayed in a crystal bowl at your grandmother's house. It consisted of thin, wavy strips of hard candy folded back on itself to create a glistening ribbon-like sculpture. The colors were pure Christmas. Vibrant reds, greens, and whites, often with a satiny sheen that caught the light from the tree. The flavors were classic holiday tastes like peppermint, wintergreen, and cinnamon. Eating it was a high-stakes game. You could try to suck on it, but impatience usually took over. The inevitable result of biting into a piece was a loud crack as the delicate ribbon shattered into razor-sharp sugar shards. It was a rite of passage, though, and for many, the sight of those colorful, fragile waves of candy instantly brings back the feeling of a classic 70s Christmas. Okay, so no 70s stocking was complete without the satisfying, bulky, rectangular shape of a Lifesaver's Sweet Storybook. Now, this wasn't just candy. It was a literary and confectionery experience all rolled into one. Finding this in your stocking was a rite of passage.
Sometimes it's the little things that make all the difference. Lifesaver's Sweet Storybook and Keepsake 10s. Christmas just isn't the same without.
Tucked inside the beautifully illustrated cardboard book, which often featured a classic Christmas story, was the real treasure, an entire library of Lifesaver's rolls. Back in its heyday, the storybook was packed, often with 10 or even 12 rolls. You'd get the classics like peppermint and wintergreen, the 5-flavor fruit roll, and if you were really lucky, the coveted butter rum. Now, to a kid, this felt like a bottomless supply of candy. You'd carefully pop one out at a time, trying to make them last until New Year's. For parents, Lifesavers occupied a strange middle ground. They weren't really considered candy, so you were often allowed to keep the book in your room. The storybooks still exist today, but they've shrunk, holding fewer rolls. Now, for 70s kids, though, the original hefty storybook remains a cherished Christmas memory. Let's talk more Brach's, a brand that absolutely dominated the holiday candy scene. Do you remember those chewy caramels with a surprise inside? They were called Brach's Royals, and they were the crown jewels of the candy dish. These weren't your simple hard caramels. Royals were soft, rich, chewy caramel logs, each wrapped in colorful foil. And the true magic of a Royal was its soft cream center. When you bit into one, you got this incredible burst of flavor. The assortment had decadent choices like chocolate, maple, vanilla, raspberry, and the always sophisticated butter rum. Finding a bowl of these meant you had to act fast, sifting through to find the wrapper color of your favorite. Was it brown for chocolate or pink for raspberry? People were passionate about their favorites. They just had this smooth, melt-in-your-mouth quality that felt so luxurious. While they were phased out for a long time, they have been known to pop up again in limited runs. So, keep your eyes peeled. Amidst all the hard candies and chocolates, there was another soft-scented treat that held a special place in the candy hierarchy. The strawberry bonbon. You know the one. It came in that crinkly wrapper designed to look like a strawberry, with a little green twist at the top. Now these candies were a textural delight. The outside was a smooth, hard candy shell, but the real prize was the soft, chewy, strawberry-flavored filling. These weren't always as plentiful as the hard candy mixes, so finding one felt like discovering a rare gem. The flavor was intensely sweet and artificial, a proud hallmark of 70s candy. But it was a taste we absolutely loved. You could suck on it patiently, letting the hard shell dissolve until it gave way to the chewy center. Or you could go the impatient route and just crunch right through to the good stuff. They became a beloved sight during the 70s holiday season, offering a fruity, chewy alternative to all that peppermint. Now here's one that might jog a deep, deep memory. Picture walking into a Woolworths or a local dime store in the 70s. In the candy aisle, you'd find these small, fancy-looking boxes of chewy, chocolate-flavored taffy pieces called chocolate babies. They were an affordable treat for any kid with allowance money burning a hole in their pocket. The flavor was totally unique, a distinct chocolate molasses taste that was unlike anything else on the market. The texture was a perfect, satisfying chew, not too hard and not too soft. For Christmas, these often ended up in stockings as simple classic filler. They felt old-fashioned even back then, like a throwback to an earlier era. But by the early 1980s, they had quietly disappeared from shelves without a word. Today, they exist only in nostalgic online forums and in the memories of those who remember that unique, chewy, chocolatey bite. And our final treat is an absolute icon of Christmas, a candy that was as much an activity as it was a confection, the Terry's chocolate orange. Now, while it has been around for decades, the 70s cemented its status as a must-have Christmas luxury. Finding this dense, foil-wrapped orb in your stocking felt incredibly sophisticated, and the ritual was everything. You had to whack it on a hard surface, which caused the pre-scored chocolate orange to fall apart into 20 perfect segments. Each slice was shaped like a real orange segment and infused with a rich, authentic orange oil flavor.
Terry's famous chocolate orange. Smooth milk or plain chocolate with real oil of orange. How safe is yours?
This wasn't just a candy bar. It was an experience you could share with the whole family. It felt special, more elegant than your average treat. It was the kind of thing that sat on the dessert table next to the pie and fruitcake, holding its own as a true holiday delicacy. It was, and for many still is, the taste of a truly special Christmas morning. And there you have it, a trip back to the sugar-fueled Christmases of the 1970s. From the delicate beauty of ribbon candy to the unique taste of chocolate babies, these were the candies that made the holidays a little bit sweeter. So many are gone now, living on only in our memories and maybe in a few dusty corners of the internet. But I have to ask, was there a forgotten favorite of yours that I missed? Let me know in the comments below. I genuinely love reading your stories. If this video brought back some sweet memories, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more trips down memory lane. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season filled with joy, family, and maybe, just maybe, a candy that reminds you of a Christmas long, long ago. See you in the next one.